Emily, can you hear me? Emily?
Nó lại thầy.
Okay, you can do it. Put our palm together. You can read the number of fundamental teacher. Okay, everyone turn on your webcam if you could.
Nam mô Bằng Sú Tất Ca Mâu Ni Phật. Nam mô Bằng Sú Tất Ca Mâu Ni Phật.
You can do English. You can do English. Okay. What happened to you? Okay, Serena.
The unsurpassed, deep, profound, subtle, wonderful Dharma, in 100,000 million eons is difficult to encounter. Now that I've come to receive and hold it within my sight and hearing, I vastly fathom that thus comes one true and actual meaning.
All right. So today we will learn about this thing here. Okay, all right. Emily, you want to read this one?
Dạ thầy con làm được.
Okay.
Thus I have heard at one time the Buddha dwell at Shavarsati in the garden of benefactor of orphans and solitary.
Magalana, read it one.
Magalana had just obtained the sixth Pentrians. You wish to cross over his father and mother to repay their kindness for raising him. Thus, using his way eye, he regarded the word and saw that deceased mother had been born among the hungry ghosts, having neither food nor drink. She was but skin and bones.
Okay. Do you understand this one? Yeah.
So it's kind of Malagana. He just obtained the sixth something, and he wanted to repay his kindness to his mother and father. But when he saw his mother was deceased, he saw that his mother was a ghost, and she was just skin and bones, nothing else, just skin and bones.
Okay, that's good. No food, no drink. That's why skin and bone. Okay, so that's good. Magalana, he obtained the sixth penetration. That means the divine eye. That means he can see very far to the heaven and down to the hell. That's the first one. The second one, he can hear very far, even in heaven, or he can hear very far. The third one is he can read the that means who he can read the people mind. Okay, and the fourth one is he can see the the living being past life. Okay, and the fifth one is he can make things appear and disappear and make things become big and small. He can do all those things. And the sixth one is that means he know the living being the mental affliction, whatever that kind of. He used the different method to help them to liberate it. That the six that is the number six power. So he can be able to do that. That means who are attend Alahat, they can do all these things. Okay. All right. Let's see. Thank you. Christina Chiu.
Mangalana felt deep pity and sadness, filled a bowl with food, and went to provide for his mother. She got the bowl, screened it with her left hand, and with her right hand made a fist of food. But before it entered her mouth, it turned into burning coals which could not be eaten. Mangalana called out and wept sorrowfully. and hastened to return to the Buddha to set forth all of this. The Buddha said, "Your mother's offenses are deep and firmly rooted. You alone do not have enough power. Although your foul sounds move heaven and earth, the heaven spirits and earth spirits, twisted demons, and those outside the way, Brahmins and the four heavenly king gods are also without sufficient strength.
Okay, good.
Sufficient
Stop right
strength.
there. Stop it there. You understand what you just read?
I understood that Moggallana went to give food to his mother, but before she could eat it, it turned into cold and she could not eat it. So Moggallana went to the Buddha, and the Buddha explained that her offenses were too deep, and that is why she cannot eat. And the Buddha also said that Moggallana, as well as many other spirits and even the heavenly king gods, do not have enough power to give the mom food.
Oh no, liberate his mom, okay, from the suffering. Okay, that means all of them combined include the Magarana and the heaven spirits and the earth spirits. All of them are combined together. They cannot be able to liberate his mom. Okay, that's what it means. Um, uh, Kaden, 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 go. Let me. Let me. Okay, go ahead, go. The Buddha told Moggallana, this is the word, Moggallana.
15th day of the 7th month is the Pravana day of the assembled Sangha of the 10 directions. For the sake of fathers and mothers of 7 generations past, as well as for fathers and mothers of the present who are in distress, you should prepare an offering of clean basins full of hundreds of flavors and 5 fruits, and other offerings of incense, oil, lamps, candles, beds, and bedding, all the best of the world, to the greatly virtuous assembled Sangha of 10 directions.
Stop right there. Do you understand what you just read?
Kind of.
You gotta tell me how much you understand.
Um,
Okay. So the Buddha told, right, on Magalana, on the 15th of the 7th month, this is the lunar calendar. Para, Ravarana day for the example, Sangha in Buddhism. In Buddhism, every year, right, the monk, that means Sangha, the other monks, they spend 3 months retreat, 3 month retreat. That means they stay in one place, especially a monastery or temple or at one place. They practice for 3 months because that was the raining season. That's why they don't want to go out, because if they do, they will step on the insect easily, and they don't want to do that. So they stay in there, they practice for 3 months, and they gain a lot of blessing and a lot of virtue throughout their practice. That means all the sangha in the of the 10 directions. Who know what is the word sangha mean? Who know? Any volunteer? Christina Võ.
The Buddhist disciples?
Yeah. Sangha, it means the community of monk and nun. Okay? Community of monk and nun. That's what we call Sangha. Um, for the sake of father and mother of 7 generations past, that means our 7 past life parents, and also the father and mother of the current life, they will be benefit if we prepare the offering to the Sangha. That means on the 15th of the July, the Sangha get together because they just got out from the retreat. That was the perfect day that we can make an offer to them, so we can get a blessing and we can transfer that blessing to our parent of the current parent life of the current life parent, and also seven parent of the past, seven past life, right? Seven past life parent. How do we make the offering? Well, we try to provide 100 flavor and 5 fruit and incense oil, candle bed. Oh, Christina Chiu, do you understand this thing right here? Why do we need to make a lot of offering like this?
I think we have to make a lot of offerings so we can pass down the, I don't know what it's called. I think the best word I know is luck from our 7 generations to our current parents.
Let me, let me ask everyone a question here. When we make an offer or when we do the giving, what is the best way of the giving? Well, how do, which way it do that represent the best giving? Who know? Ratna, do you know? Ratna?
Yeah.
Okay. If you will go and to do the giving, what is the best way to give?
To do the giving?
Yeah. When you have a chance to do the giving, you give to others. So what is the best way to give? Who understand my question? Patrick, though, do you understand God? Patrick? Could not hear you. Can you hear me? Somehow you really your all right, Kaden. All right. Võ, do you know what is the best way to give?
No.
Christina Chiu, what is the best way to give?
Do you mean like in religion or just in everyday life?
Everyday life.
I think you would find like something good, like you wouldn't find something bad to give to someone, but you would find the best thing you can afford and give to them.
Okay, let's think about this. If if you have two different friends, right? Your birthday come up, right? And your friend come and give you the gift. The first one give you the big gift, but he just put it there, and maybe he did not. Well, he put it there, and the second person who give you the gift, but it's very small. But inside that small gift, he have a very lovely. That person have write your best. Well, your friend write a very lovely letter, very warm, hot letter. So which one is more value? Which one is more value, dummy? Okay, the small gift, right, with the warm letter, right? Because that's how we give. It the way we given is more important than the material. Does it make sense? Serena?
Yeah.
Okay, so the way we do the giving is more important than the material. So when we offer to the Sangha, we have to be very sincere because the sincerity is the most important of all. Well, the material is important, but not that important to compare to your sincerity. Okay? All right. Serena, go ahead and read the next one. Serena, do not hear you.
On that day, all the holy assembly, whether in the mountains, practicing dhyana, samadhi, or obtaining the four fruits of the way, or walking beneath trees, or using the independence of six penetrations to teach and transform sound hearers and those enlightened to conditions, or provisionally manifesting as Vehicus, when in fact they are great Bodhisattvas on the 10th ground, all complete and pure precepts and ocean-like virtue of the holy way should gather in a great assembly, and all of like mind receive the pravana food.
Okay, do you understand what you read?
No.
Okay. The Holy One, that means the one who practiced the meditation. Jnana Samadhi, that means meditation in the mountain. The one who obtained the four truths of the way, that means the Arahat, they have four different states of Arahat. That's what we call the four truths. That means they are represent for the enlightened one. That means the one who have wisdom, who are about to end the death and rebirth cycle, no more suffering, or the one who obtain the sixth penetration, using the penetration to transform the sound here. That means the other lower state. That means the sound here. That means the arahat, to transform the arahat, or for and those and basically they are the holy one, and also the bodhisattva who is manifest themselves as a bhikkhu, but in fact they are the great bodhisattva. So that means they are the one who represent for the pure precept and the ocean life virtue. And when they come together, we make an offering to them. The blessing we get is way, way beyond. Let me give you an example. If there are two different type of friends, do you want to have one wise person, or you want to have a 100 ordinary people? Who want to have a 100 ordinary people? Christina, what?
Could you repeat your question again? I couldn't hear it well.
Okay. Okay. There are two types of friends. The first one is the wise one, right? The only one but wise person. The other one is the 100 ordinary people. Do you want to be friend to the one wise one, or you want to be friend to 100 ordinary people?
One wise friend.
Why you want to be friend to one wise one?
So the wise one will influence us good.
Yeah, the wise one is help us to be able to avoid. What is the benefit to be nearby the wise, Ratner?
What's the question?
What is the benefit to be nearby the wise one, right? What the benefit you get from them when you're nearby the wise?
Like you gain wisdom.
Oh, you gain wisdom, but what is the wisdom for? What benefit to have?
Like to do good.
To do good. All right. Betty.
Yeah.
Okay. What is the benefit if you are nearby the why, so you can get the wisdom? What is the good thing about wisdom?
You can make wise decisions whenever you're in complicated situations.
Wow, you're right. If you in the complicated situation and if you have the wisdom, you can make the wise decision and you can avoid a lot of trouble in the future, right? That's important. Well, what happened if you nearby the 100 ordinary people? Can they help you to avoid the future problem, Demi?
Not really, because they're like random people.
They are not. They might not have that type of wisdom, right? They cannot help you. But if we nearby the wise one, we be able. But Christina Chiu, can you give me an example that the wise one can help us to avoid the problem? What kind of problem can we avoid?
I think something the wise people can teach us is whenever someone is threatening you or is trying to start a fight, instead of fueling the fire and adding more problems to it, you can just like walk away and ignore them instead of fighting back.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. And also, the wise one help us to understand the law of cause and effect, right? So, what is the good thing to if you have a good understanding of the law of the cause and effect? What does that help you to? What kind of benefit you by that law? Who know? Serena,
Can you repeat the question?
you okay? If we understand the law of cause and effect very clearly, what kind of benefit from that when we understand that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Anyone help? Anyone help? What about your Christina Jill? What do you think?
I think if we understand the law of truth and effect, we'll also understand other Buddhist teachings. But if we're using that in the real world, I think we will pay more attention to our actions and the consequences of our actions.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Because when you have a good understanding of the law of cause and effect, every time when you make the decision or when you do something, you have to think about the consequence first before you do it. Then that means you can be able to avoid a lot of trouble. Usually, when we don't understand the law of cause and effect, we just do it without thinking about the consequence. And what happens is, when we in trouble, right, due to our ignorance, because we do not think about the consequence, later on we find out that we stuck in the problem, some trouble. Then that will become the mess, right? We cannot get out. Does it make sense? Christina, to you?
Yeah,
Good. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay. So okay, that's good. So be and so also when we understand, let's say that remember last time you asked me the question about black light matter, right? Krishna, you.
yeah,
If we don't understand the Buddhist teaching, then we we will not respect them, right?
yeah,
But now you understand the Buddha teaching. Remember, we are the minority or majority. Which one?
we are the minority.
Yeah, we are the minority. We are the color, right? We are the color people, right?
Yeah,
That means, you know what? The black people, they are the one who sacrifice so much for this country, and they fight so much for the minority right. And when we came to this country, we also inherit the minority right from them, and we benefit from it due to their sacrifice. Does it make sense?
yeah,
This is important. Then what does that mean to us? We always be grateful to them. We should always thank to them. Due to their sacrifice, we be able to benefit from the minority right, and we can have the good life in this country. If we don't have the right, then we will not live peacefully in this country. Does it make sense to you, Demi? Demi?
Yes.
Okay, this is important. So when we understand the Buddha teaching, we also know how to be grateful to other people. Otherwise, we do not easily be grateful because we have the mind of discrimination. Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. Okay. Let's see. Uh, right now, go ahead and read the next one. At that time, the Buddha commanded.
Sorry, at that time the Buddha commanded the assembled Sangha of the 10 directions to recite mantras and vows for the sake of the donor's family, for parents of 7 generations. After practicing dhyana concentration, the Sangha accepted the food. When they first received the basin, they placed it before the Buddha in the stupa. When the assembled Sangha had finished the mantras and vows, they received the food. At that time, the bhikshu Magalana and the assembly of great Bodhisattvas were all extremely delighted in the sorrowful sound of Mangalana's crying. Mangalana's crying ceased. At that time, Mangalana's mother obtained liberation from one kalpa of suffering as a hungry ghost. Mangalana addressed the Buddha and said, "This disciple's parents have received the power of the merit and virtue of the triple jewel. Because of the awesome spiritual power of the assembled Sangha, if in the future the Buddha's disciple practice philately by offerings up the Bana basins, will they be able to cross over their present fathers and mothers as well as those of 7 generations past?"
Okay, tell me what you understand from this.
I don't really understand it.
You don't really understand. Okay. Christina Chiu, do you understand?
Can I reread it because that will help me?
Okay.
At that time, the Buddha commanded the assembled Sangha of the 10 directions to recite mantras and vows for the sake of the donor's family, for parents of 7 generations. After practicing dhyana concentration, the Sangha accepted the food. When they were first received the basin, they placed it before the Buddha in the stupa. When the assembled Sangha had finished the mantras and vows, they received the food. At that time, the Bhikkhu Moggallana and the assembly of great Bodhisattvas were extremely delighted in the sorrowful sound of Moggallana's crying ceased. At that time, Moggallana's mother obtained liberation from one kalpa of suffering as a hungry ghost. Moggallana addressed the Buddha and said, "This disciple's parents have received the power of the merit in virtue of the triple jewel because of the awesome spiritual power of the assembled Sangha. If in the future the Buddha's disciples practice filiality by offerings up the Lambana basins, they will be able to cross over their present fathers and mothers as well as those of 7 generations past."
Okay, before you explain, no, Ula Bana Basin, that means the name of the day that we call the 15th of the 7th month, that means July on the Lunar New Year. That's the day they call the Hungry Ghost Festival. Okay. So that's what it means. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What I understood was that they were reciting vows and mantras so that the 7 generations of parents would be transferred to Moggallana's mother. So after the Sangha said said the vows and received the food, the Moggallana stopped crying, and the mom received the liberation from being a hungry ghost. And then Moggallana said to the Buddha that the parents of the disciples, they got liberated because of the good spiritual power of the Sangha, and that they also said that if the Buddha's disciples keep practicing, they will someday be able to not only cross over with their present parents, but they will also be able to do that with 7 generations of parents.
Okay. So that means the Buddha told the assembly, that means the disciple, the monk, before they receive the, okay, for this, okay, the donor, that means the one who giving the offering, right? That means we are the one who giving the offering to the Sangha. And when they do that, and before the Sangha using the food that they receive, they will recite a mantra. They make the vow to make sure that the donor family will gain the benefit from it by the benefit from it. That means they can use that benefit to transfer to their parent of the 7 generation of the past life as well as the current life. But and also before they consume food, the 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 Buddha disciple at that time, they have to place the food in before the Buddha in the stupa. That means in the stupa. That means where we alter the Buddha. And when they do that, they recite a mantra. They make a vow, and after that, they can consume the food. And due to that, that generates the great marriage and blessing, because that is from the power of the triple two. That means the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Dharma, that means the Buddha teaching. Um, due to that, that means the donor will receive the blessing from it, and also their parent will be benefit from it. That means the 7 past life parent as well the current life parent will be fully benefit from it. They will free from suffering. If let's say that it happened that they have our past life 7 past life parents fall into the evil realm, right? They will quickly free from that evil realm and be born into the human realm or the heaven realm. That's what it means. So that is the benefit when we make an offer to the Sangha on that day. On the 15th of July in of the lunar calendar. Does that make sense to you? Christina, to you?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's good. All right. So Patrick, did you fix your problem yet, Patrick?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Very good.
It's still very laggy though.
Okay, go ahead. Now.
The Buddha replied, "Good indeed. I am happy that you asked that question. I just wanted to speak about that. And now you have also asked the man if bhikshus, bhikshunis, kings, crown princes, great ministers, great officials, cabinet members, the 100 ministers, and the tens of thousands of citizens who wish to practice compassionate filial conduct for the sake of the parents who bore them, as well as the sake of fathers and mothers of 7 lives past. On the 15th day of the 7th month, the day of Buddha's delight, the day of the Sangha's Varana, they should place hundreds of flavors of food in ulambanas and offer them to the Pravarana Sangha. of the 10 directions. They should vow to cause the length of their present fathers and mothers' lives to reach 100 years without illnesses, without sufferings, afflictions, or worries. And also vow to cause 7 generations of fathers and mothers to leave the suffering of the hungry ghost, to be born among humans and gods, and to have blessing.
Please without limit. Okay, let's without limit. Okay, you understand what it says?
Yeah, there's a ceremony where
Okay.
every person go and respect their parents from their past lives or
Yeah.
this life.
Okay, everyone have to if they want to repay the parent kindness, include the current parent and the past life parent, they need to make an offering to the sangha on the day of we call Parapana or Ubalana day. That is the 15th of the 7th month of the lunar calendar. That's where the sangha come together. Okay, that's important. And the blessing that their parents in the past can be liberated from the suffering, so that the hungry ghost or can be born into human and God. And the blessing is without limit. That okay. Betty, go ahead and read the next one.
The Buddha told all the good men and good women, those disciples of the Buddha who cultivate filial conduct, should in thought after thought constantly recall their present fathers and mothers when making offerings, as well as the fathers and mothers of 7 lives past, and for their sakes perform the offering of the Olabana basin to the Buddha and the Sangha, and thus repay the loving kindness of the parents who raised and nourished them. At that time, the Bhikkhu Madhyayanana and the fourfold assembly of disciples, hearing what the Buddha said, practiced it with delight.
Okay. So basically, the Buddha encouraged everyone to do that, to practice that every year, so they can benefit their parents, the current parent as well, the past. Okay, let me see. I want to show you. This is the good one. Okay. Oh, but this is very long movie. Okay, let me see. Hold on. I want to show you the video about Sariputta. Okay. Okay, that's okay. Christina Vaughn, do you want to pay attention to this and summarize the story?
I'll try to.
Okay, good.
One of the most beautiful Buddhist teachings is that of Gatanyu Gataweti. It teaches us to be grateful and repay kindness that has been given to us. No monk embodied this more than the Venerable Sariputta. Upatissa, later to be known as Sariputta, listened to the Buddha's Dhamma from the Venerable Assaji. Using his vast reserves of wisdom, Upatissa achieved awakening as a Sotapanna, a stream enterer. The Venerable Assaji invited invited Upatissa to go with him to go visit the Buddha. Obviously, Upatissa would have been delighted to go. However, he had promised his faithful friend Kolita that if he were to find the path to the deathless, Nibbana, he would share his findings with him immediately. Taking his leave of the Venerable Asachi, Upatissa went to find Kolita. After Upatissa shared the Venerable Asachi's words with Kolita, Kolita too obtained awakening as a Sotapanna. The two men were eager to go see the Buddha. However, they thought about the 1,000 men who had followed them in joining Sanjaya. Those men had followed Upatissa and Kolita faithfully as the two men were searching for a worthy master. Now that they had found the Buddha, it would be heartless for them not to give the 1,000 men a choice. When given the choice, all 1,000 men stated that they would go along to see the Buddha. Before they left, the two men extended an invitation to Sanjaya. Even though his teachings did not lead them to enlightenment, they appreciated the time he spent teaching them. Unfortunately, Sanjaya could not release his attachment to being a famous teacher and refused to join them. As often as he could, the Venerable Sariputta would seek to serve the Buddha. He would assist in giving instructions to monks and look after their welfare. Before going to rest, the Venerable Sariputta would always make sure to pay his respects to the Buddha. Then, immediately after, if the Venerable Asachi was staying in the same temple, the Venerable Sariputta would pay his respects to the Venerable Asachi, the monk who helped him achieve Sotapanna. However, there were times when the Venerable Sariputta did not reside in the same temple as the Buddha and the Venerable Asachi. On those occasions, the Venerable Sariputta would discern which direction the Buddha was in and bow 3 times. Then, he would discern which direction the Venerable Asachi was, and then bow 3 times. When the other monks saw this, they found it very strange. They gossiped amongst themselves. Why was the chief disciple seemingly worshipping the cardinal directions? Even now, it seemed the Venerable Sariputta had not given up his Brahmanical views. When these complaints reached the Buddha, he said, "It is not so, monks. Sariputta does not worship the cardinal directions. He salutes the one through whom he first learned the Dhamma. Sariputta is one who gives devout respect to his teacher. One should always revere the person from whom one has learned the Dhamma." In another case,
All right. Christina, go ahead.
I don't really understand it.
Really? Oh, that's
I don't.
Christina, you want to help?
Sorry, Tay, I wasn't here at the beginning of it.
Oh, what did you do? You did not pay attention? Oh my goodness. This is a very good video. Everyone pay attention. You will learn very good thing here. Good. Let me show one more time and pay attention. Christina Chiu, go ahead and nhớ me. Pay attention, you go.
beautiful Buddhist teachings is that of Gatanyu Gataweti. It teaches us to be grateful and repay kindness that has been given to us. No monk embodied this more than the Venerable Sariputta. Upatissa, later to be known as Sariputta, listened to the Buddha's Dhamma from the Venerable Assaji, using his vast reserves of
Everyone pay attention. This is very good video and you will learn a lot of good thing in here.
wisdom. Upatissa achieved awakening as a Sotapanna, a stream enterer. The Venerable Assaji invited Upatissa to go with him to go visit the Buddha. Obviously, Upatissa would have been delighted to go. However, he had promised his faithful friend Kolita that if he were to find the path to the deathless, Nibbana, he would share his findings with him immediately. Taking his leave of the Venerable Assaji, Upatissa went to find Kolita. After Upatissa shared the Venerable Assaji's words with Kolita, Kolita too obtained awakening as a Sotapanna. The two men were eager to go see the Buddha. However, they thought about the 1,000 men who had followed them in joining Sanjaya. Those men had followed Upatissa and Kolita faithfully as the two men were searching for a worthy master. Now that they had found the Buddha, it would be heartless for them not to give the 1,000 men a choice. When given the choice, all 1,000 men stated that they would go along to see the Buddha. Before they left, the two men extended an invitation to Sanjaya. Even though his teachings did not lead them to enlightenment, they appreciated the time he spent teaching them. Unfortunately, Sanjaya could not release his attachment to being a famous teacher and refused to join them. As often as he could, the Venerable Sariputta would seek to serve the Buddha. He would assist in giving instructions to monks and look after their welfare. Before
Yeah. Good to know you.
At the beginning of the video, a monk named Upatissa awakened as a Satapana, and someone else named Asalji invited him.
Sariputta and Kolita. Yeah.
Yeah, he invited Upatissa to visit the Buddha, but Upatissa said that he promised Kalita that whenever he found out how to be awakened as a Satapana, he would share it with him. And so he did, and Kalita became a Satapana as well. And so whenever both of them were ready, they wanted to visit the Buddha, but then they thought about the 1,000 men who would want to go with them. So they asked, and all 1,000 men wanted to come to see the Buddha as well. And then they also invited Sanjaya, who did not,
The teacher.
yeah, their teacher who did not help them reach enlightenment. But Sanjaya, they refused because they were too attached to being a famous teacher.
Okay. So what do you learn from when Asachi, that means Sariputta, later on he became the first chief disciple of the Buddha. Kolita became the Magalana. That means the second chief disciple of the Buddha. That means the left hand disciple. That's what we learn. And okay, when he saw Asachi, right, and he learned the Dharma, and he be able to attend the stream enter. Um, but Asachi invite him to see the Buddha right away, and he did not, and he want to go back to see his friend, the one that he promised. Well, what do you learn from this one, Ray?
From that one, I learned that you should keep your promises.
Hmm. It's very important to keep your promise, even though he have a chance to see the Buddha first, right? But he refused because he thinks that keeping the promise is the most important because that's how your character is. Okay, that's good. Then also when he and his friend be able to attend the same thing, and they remember about 1,000 people that follow them faithfully. That means they go and they told them, and they also to go and talk to the instead of they go to see the Buddha right away, but they do not. They go back and tell 1,000 follower who follow them faithfully. Why are they doing that?
I think it was because they knew that the 1,000 people would want to go see the Buddha, so it would be kind of selfish and rude of them if they didn't invite the 1,000 people.
Yeah, that's right. So because they value the friendship, right? The friendship is so important. Because they trust them, so they have to think about those people as well. Uh, and when he came and tried to convince his teacher, and that means they never forget about his teacher, even though the teacher did not help them to get enlightened, right? What do we learn from this one?
Um, that one I learned that even though Sanjaya didn't help them reach enlightenment, they were so grateful for what he did for them.
Hmm. So, but at least they learn something from him, right? Even though we learn too little from that person, we still remember to grateful for that person. So that means he went back and tried to convince the teacher, so the teacher can see the Buddha and he can be able to benefit from it. But because the teacher is so arrogant, right? He could not give up the attachment, and therefore he missed the chance to see the Buddha, and that's why he cannot be able to free. Okay, why? Okay, the teacher when he missed the chance, he refused to see the Buddha. So what happened to him? What would happen to him?
I think he will not fully understand the Buddha's teachings.
Then that means he will be free from suffering, or he will not.
He will not be free
Yeah.
from.
That means he will suffer. And you know what? In the story, they said that he because all the people, all the 1,000 people left already, all the disciples left him, and he by himself. And you know what? He he uh, he so frustrated and he's so angry, and his heart is busted. His heart is busted, and he died instantly due to his attachment. You see that? He the one harm himself. No one harm him. He the one harm himself. So okay, next week we will come back, and this video here is very good. You need to learn a lot of good character from Cheri Puja. Okay. Okay, let me stop right here. Uh, okay, Betty.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with heart of goodness luminous and bright. May people hear and see how hands and hearts can find and give in unity. May their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Very good. Thank you. All right, everyone. Namo Ida Phật. Namo Ida Phật.
Nam mô Phật Giáo Thầy, cảm ơn thầy.
Nam mô A Di Đà Phật.
Nam mô A Di Đà Phật. Thầy cảm ơn thầy.
Read if I just take them and tie.